Hi everybody, my name is Leonard Judge and I'm Senior Editor here at DC Canada Education Publishing. And we're very excited today to be having our first virtual book launch. We're launching a new book series called Better Behavior. It consists of 12 books. The author is P.J. Wright. She's an educator and a early childhood development specialist. She is a special needs therapeutic program developer and a mother of young children. When she was looking for materials to help her raising her children, she wasn't really able to find material that suited her needs. And so she decided to create something on her own. Hence, she created these wonderful 12-book series that we are now very pleased to be presenting to the world. And so without further ado, we're going to begin this virtual book launch. You're going to hear from our director, MEIZHEN today. You're also going to hear from the editor of this beautiful series, CYBANSKI, a young woman with great skills. She's going to read a story. I'm going to read one just because I want to. And then the author will be here to talk to you as well, and hopefully she will read one of these stories. So let's begin now. Thank you very much.
Hello, welcome to this online book launch of Best Behavior books. DC Canada Education Publishing not only publish books to help children learn English, French, but also learn Canadian culture and social responsibility, which we believe will help children grow up to be a good citizen and have a happier life. So this Best Behavior book is an example of our publishing activity. Let's say better behavior will bring you happier days. That's the message we want people to get from this series.
Hi, I'm CYBANSKI, and I'm an editor at DC Canada. I've had the pleasure of working with PJ Wright to bring better behavior to life over these past few months. Although I have no kids of my own, it would be hard to deny how lively, thoughtful, encouraging, and helpful these colorful little books are. Sometimes you don't know you needed something until you see it in front of you. Whether you've always known you'd have to give your little ones extra guidance, or are only realizing it now, this quirky series is bound to make your journey, well, better.
Hi everyone, welcome to my virtual book launch for the Better Behavior series. First and foremost, I would like to send out a really big, warm virtual thank you to the dedicated team over at DC Canada Education Publishing. Thank you so much for sharing my vision and making these books a reality. I also want to say a huge thank you to all the family and friends and teachers and child development professionals who have all inspired and encouraged me along the way. Your input and support and interest has appreciated so very much. I'm really looking forward to hearing all about the many fun and creative ways that you're able to use this resource in your homes and classrooms and professional practices. Now, I'd just like to take a little brief moment to tell you a little bit more about these books and kind of how they came to pass. I guess I'll start with telling you a little bit about my experience. Well, I guess you could say that my interest in child development was first ignited way back in the late 1990s, tells you how old I am, when my son was born and later diagnosed with developmental delays and autism. At that time, there were not very many resources available, so I quickly became very reliant on my own research and creativity and strategies. The need for more resources applied even further when more of my children were diagnosed with autism, hyperlexia, and ADHD. And over the years, I've been lucky and blessed with many opportunities to work in the field of early childhood development, special needs programming, child advocacy, and education. This has allowed me not only to assess the needs of my own children, but also to be able to help other children as well, and also their parents. My main objective was to design something that would allow parents and educators to introduce social and emotional, behavioral topics in a natural way, a positive way, and make it simple. Also wanted to create something that might at the same time inspire children with more confidence in their own problem solving and self-regulation abilities. For children with short attention spans or processing difficulties, I felt it was also important that these stories were written in a shorter, more bite-sized way that would also include predictable patterns and rhythms and rhymes, just to make them much more memorable, so they could read them and be excited to recognize a pattern and to be able to rehearse it in their minds and problem solve and just have fun with it. It was a pretty tall order to get all those things into these little books, but I'm just so happy with the results, and I hope you are too. I just wanted to take a minute and kind of show you some of the fun fonts and colors and we got a dragon having a tantrum and kids relating to that scenario, but also relating to look at he's blowing some fires and he's just getting so mad because he's just too tired but then there's some positive solutions and every single book ends with good choices. Each character, gets a nice little reward for making good choices in the end. Thank you for joining in on my book launch and like I said, I really hope that you enjoy these as much as I enjoyed making them. I'll read one of my favorites. I mean, they're all my favorites, but I really liked this hippo with the huggies. How many times you can relate to children in personal space, just wanting to hug everyone or touch everyone, and this is a really good book about consent, teaching consent in a very simple way. So this one, it's called When Your Hippo Gets the Huggies. So when your hippo gets the huggies, does she get the squeezies too? Does everyone get squeezed and squashed down at the city zoo? Does she laugh and giggle and joke and poke and tickle unawares? Does she even try to do this to very grumpy bears? How do you feel? What could she do? Should a hippo do this? Or could she try something new? When your hippo gets the huggies, could she give her friend some space? Could she always ask before she hugs and tickles just in case? Like he's getting an invitation. Could she stop and watch and wait and see if someone wants her near? So your snuggy huggy hippo doesn't touch unless it's clear? She looks so happy she got invited. She can, she will, hooray! This will bring a much happier day.
When your dragon gets the drowsies, does he get the grumpies too? Does he throw a great big tantrum and destroy a toy or two? Does he huff and puff and snort and roar and start a bunch of fires? Does he always act this grumpy way every time he gets the tires? How do you feel? What could he do? Should a dragon do this? Or could he try something new? When your dragon gets the drowsies, could he climb into his bed? Could he read some calming stories and put pillows round his head? Could he play some soothing songs or count some leaping sheep so your drowsy little dragon drifts happily to sleep? He can? He will? Hooray! This will bring a much happier day.
When your monster gets the munchies. When your monster gets the munchies, does he eat and eat and eat? Does everything around the house become a monster treat? Does he use his monster manners to slurp and burp and smack? Does he even treat your toys like a sweet and scrumptious snack? How do you feel? What could he do? Should a monster do this? Or could he try something new? When your monster gets the munchies, could he try some people rules? Could he try some people manners, not to gobble, belch, or drool? Could he try some healthy choices, some better kinds of food? So your silly, snacky monster knows why munching toys is rude? He can? He will? Hooray! This will bring a much happier day.
We also have the Chinese and French translation at the end of each book. So I will read the Chinese version of this book. 当你的小海狸变得专横霸道时，当你的小海狸变得专横霸道时，他会叫朋友做这做那吗？是不是每件事他都要管？当事情没有按照他说的那样做，他会尖叫、大喊、跺脚、撅嘴吗？如果你拒绝跟他玩，他甚至会说你们不能做朋友吗？你对此有何感想？他本可以怎么做？小海狸就该是这样？或他可以尝试变一变样？当你的小海狸变得专横霸道时，他能听一听既有趣又有益的想法吗？当事情没按照他说的那样做时，他能停下来做深呼吸并数到5吗？这样，你那专横的、脾气暴躁的小海狸尝试玩别人想玩的游戏，他能吗？他会吗？会的，那太好了，这将会带来更开心的一天。
I'm going to read you the French version of When Your Hippo Gets the Huggies. Quand ton hippopotame est très câlin, est-ce qu'il serre fort aussi? Est-ce que tout le monde se fait serrer fort et écraser aux eaux de la ville? Est-ce qu'il rit et rigole et blague et donne un petit coup et chatouille inconsciemment? Est-ce qu'il essaie même de faire ça avec des ours grincheux? Qu'en penses-tu? Que pourrait-il faire? Est-ce qu'un hippopotame devrait faire ça? Ou pourrait-il essayer quelque chose de nouveau? Quand ton hippopotame devient très câlin, est-ce qu'il pourrait donner un peu d'espace à ses amis? Pourrait-il toujours demander avant de faire des câlins ou des chatouilles juste au cas où? Pourrait-il arrêter et observer et attendre et voir si quelqu'un le veut tout près? Comme ça, ton hippopotame chaleureux et câlin ne touche personne à moins que ce soit clair. Il peut, il le fera. Hurrah! Cela apportera un jour beaucoup plus heureux.
And puff and snort and roar and start a bunch of fires. How do you feel? What can you do? Should a dragon do this? Or could he try something new?
Now, do you want to pause and ask the class what he should do if he gets the drowsies?
What could he do when he gets the drowsies? Alice. Well, let's turn the page and see. When the dragon gets the drowsies, could he climb into his bed? Could he read some calming stories and put pillows around his head? Could he play some soothing songs or count some leaping sheep? So the drowsy little dragon drifts happily to sleep? He can? He will? Hooray!